Today, I'm going to give you the two quickest ways to calculate the valuation for your firm. You should be doing this every single quarter. This is the equivalent of your stock price. It'll help you grow and build a better practice.
This is The Rare Advisor, proud to be a part of the Advisor Advancement Network and home of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
There are two main ways to calculate the valuation for your financial practice. What I like to call the Blue Book value, which is a very quick revenue assessment to identify your volume of revenue, how much of it is recurring revenue, how much of it is non-recurring revenue, and then the calculation builds from there. Or the more traditional kind of business appraisal approach, which is looking at an EBITDA valuation. So identifying your earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That's EBITDA, which is essentially your net profit. And then taking that and having a multiple on that. But again, you have to look at the components of your business, which primarily boil down to recurring revenue and non-recurring revenue. So here's a quick calculation to give you an idea of the sampling. Now, both valuations, all things being equal, are going to come out about the same if the practice is running in a traditional sense and is getting some bottom line value. So here we are looking at what I'll just simply call the core data over here. We've got recurring revenue of 700,000, non-recurring revenue of 300,000. So we've got a total revenue of $1 million. That means 70% of it is recurring and 30% of it is non-recurring. Now, as a typical financial advisor, you should be bringing in about 25% to your bottom line EBITDA. Now, I realize that smaller financial practices might not be operating in this fashion because what they're doing is that the owner is essentially taking the income, taking the value out of the practice for personal income on a regular basis. And in doing so, they basically run it down to zero. So you should assume that from a business perspective, 25% of that would be getting left over at the net, at the EBITDA value, and therefore you would have the remainder left if you want to kind of live that way, so to speak, by taking the revenue stream off of it. Now, there's a whole other set of discussions. I've talked about it numerous times before. No one wants to buy your job, but they do want to buy your business. The more your business looks and acts like a business, the more valuable it's going to be. So if you're running it like a job, it's going to get valued like a job. If you're running it like a business, obviously it's going to come at a higher valuation. So if we take these very quick core data pieces, all we've got to do on a revenue valuation is bring up the recurring revenue and the non-recurring revenue. We've got 700 grand of recurring revenue in this example, 300 grand of non-recurring, and then the multiples on revenue. Currently, the overall average multiple is about 2.7 on non-recurring revenue. Excuse me, I said that in reverse. 2.7 on recurring revenue and 0.85 on non-recurring revenue. That will give you these numerics here for a total valuation of about $2.1 million on that practice. Now, if we look at the EBITDA, we still want to know what is the percentage of our recurring revenue and our non-recurring revenue. And then we've got that EBITDA number of the 25% we talked about. So if we bring all that over here with these green arrows, you're going to get 250,000 of your EBITDA calculated at 70%. That's going to give you a 10 times multiple for 1.75. And then 250 again, but at 30% and at a 5 times multiple, half the number, 375. And again, you're getting the same, basically within spitting distance, the same $2.1 million. And then if you want to take and average the two together, you end up with $2,135,000. So this is the quickest, most readily accurate way to calculate your revenue, your valuation, I should say, off of revenue and off of EBITDA. Now, if you are affiliated with USA Financial, we run your Blue Book for you each quarter. We do it automatically. It's just one of the things we do because we've got all that data flowing through the system. We're able to calculate that for you and provide it to you on a quarterly basis. I do believe this is something you should track. This is the equivalent of your stock price. This tells you if you're building a better business or if you're losing ground. Now, also, you can learn this plus a whole lot more relating to successions, mergers, acquisitions, successions, and transitions at our predictable practice event. So if you'd like to see all that takes place over that predictable practice event, just simply go to thepredictablepractice.com. Again, thepredictablepractice.com. You'll see everything you need to know, plus the opportunity to register will be there as well. Hey, hope this helps, and keep building your business.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.